Ticker symbol O, or Realty Income, the monthly paying dividend stock that happens to be one of the largest positions across my 7-figure portfolio. To be specific, as of right now, I hold over 2,850 shares of it. Just as of today, reported the operating results, the earnings, and there's a lot to go through and a ton of interesting information you are going to want to hear, especially if you hold onto this stock as a long-term dividend growth investor. So if you want to know everything there is to know as of right now about Realty Income, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the market. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So the Realty Income earnings just dropped as of a little bit ago. I sort of skimmed through it, but I figured I'd make a video because there's a lot of useful information in this. Now, this was of course provided by Realty Income. It says Realty Income announces operating results for the 3 months ended March 31st, 2024. So first off, from the CEO, he said, "I am pleased with our first quarter results as we continue to strengthen our role as real estate partner to the world's leading companies," said Sumit Roy, Realty Income's President and Chief Executive Officer. He then said, "We remain a highly selective capital allocator based on available product that meets our stringent long-term risk-adjusted return hurdles. During the quarter, we completed $598 million of investment volume at an initial weighted average cash yield of 7.8%. Approximately 54% of total investment volume was in the UK and Europe at an initial weighted average cash yield of around 8.2%. He also said international growth continues to be a differentiating avenue for Realty Income to generate accretive earnings growth, as our unique platform allows us to partner with best-in-class clients in a highly fragmented net lease market." So far everything sounds pretty bullish for the most part. Now, some of the highlights, also very important information here. Net income available to common stockholder was $129.7 million or 16 cents per share, and we're of course going to compare this to last year, etc. Available to common stockholders was $862.9 million or $1.03 per share. Now, on January 23rd of this year, they closed on the previously announced stock-for-stock merger with Spirit Realty Capital Inc. And we've talked about this Spirit deal on the channel before. Also, excluding our merger with Spirit, we invested $598 million, once again at an initial weighted average cash yield of 7.8%, which is pretty good. Also raised $550.1 million from the sale of common stock, primarily through the ATM market. And this was at an average price of around $56.93. Net debt and preferred stock to annualized pro forma adjusted EBITDA RE was 5.5x. Also issued $450 million at 4.75% senior unsecured notes due February 2029 and $800 million at 5.25% senior unsecured notes due February 34, for which proceeds were used to repay a $1.1 billion of unsecured senior notes and mortgages upon maturity. Now, the CEO also had some more comments. He said, "Given the health of our balance sheet, which was fully bolstered by a well-timed $1.25 billion bond offering back in January, we continue to emphasize that our unchanged $2.0 billion investment guidance for the year requires no external new capital. Following the closing of the Spirit merger, our annualized adjusted free cash flow of approximately $825 million is a competitive advantage that increasingly positions us to self-fund our external growth." So with the size that Realty Income is getting to at this point, they're able to self-fund their own deals, which potentially makes future deals much more profitable. Also, the CEO said underpinning the health of our balance sheet is continued stability in our high-quality portfolio. In the first quarter, occupancy remains at 98.6%. We delivered a rent recapture rate of 104.3% on properties released, and we generated same-store rental revenue growth of 0.8%. He also said, "We believe our diversified portfolio of investments generate consistent recurring cash flow to support dependable monthly dividends that grow over time, which is why I'm such a large holder of this stock." In March, we announced our 124th common stock dividend increase, and this is since Realty Income's listing on the NYSE in 1994. Dependable total operational returns with limited downside earnings volatility continues to be our core of our investment position for our shareholders. Now, select financial results. This gives you an idea of what things look like as of right now versus last year. And it does show, of course, that Realty Income is growing. The total revenues for this quarter, $1.26 billion versus $944 million last year. But with that, the net income available to common stockholders, Year over year is down to 129.7 million from 225 last year. Now, this is something that a lot of realty income investors are sort of speculating that's going to happen in the future. As realty income gets larger and larger, it might become less profitable, and that could potentially hurt the growth of the stock long term. Now, as far as dividend increases, I know a lot of you guys are going to be interested in this. In March 2024, we announced our 106th consecutive quarterly dividend increase, which is our 124th increase in the amount of the dividends since our listing back in 1994. The annualized amount was $3.08 per share over the last year. The amount of monthly dividends per share increased 2.4% to 77 cents, and this is over a 3-month time period. Now, what's awesome about this is just 1 year back, we're looking at around 75.2 cents in the same period. So we're up almost 2 cents in the same period year over year, which isn't obviously extremely fast dividend growth, but it's something. Now, real estate portfolio update, this is also important. This is also one of the things that a lot of realty income investors are worried about, because some investors are saying that realty income is doomed because of the quality of their portfolio is going down because certain names in the portfolio are facing headwinds and things like that. But for an update on this, it says as of this quarter, we owned or held interest in 15,485 properties, which were leased to 1,552 clients during business in 89 industries. Our diversified portfolio of commercial properties under long-term net lease agreements is actively managed with a weighted average remaining lease term of approximately 9.8 years. Now, our portfolio of commercial real estate has historically provided dependable rental revenue supporting the payment of monthly dividends. And as of this time, there's 217 properties available for lease or sale as compared to 98.6%, and the occupancy is only down 0.4% as of this time last year. They also said our property level occupancy rates exclude properties with ancillary leases only, etc., etc. So as far as realty income's occupancy, this is obviously very important for any REIT. The occupancy is remaining steady even with everything going on, and even with the fact that realty income does have some clients within the portfolio that I would say are a little bit shaky at best. I'm talking about things like Walgreens, Dollar General, etc. Now, lastly, this is probably my favorite part about this entire earnings. It says as of this time, we had $4 billion of liquidity, which consists of cash and cash equivalents of $680.2 million, unsettled ATM forward, we got $62.9 million there, and $3.2 billion of availability under our $4.25 billion unsecured revolving credit facility, net of $806.5 million of borrowing on the revolving credit facility after deducting the $216 million in borrowings under our commercial paper programs. So realty income at this point is extremely liquid, and with the size of this REIT, they are going to continue to play in the offense if you ask me. Now, overall, I think this earnings for realty income is extremely bullish moving forward, and it solidifies my thoughts moving forward as a shareholder, especially as a long-term shareholder at that. I do think realty income's growth moving forward is going to be interesting to see how much the actual stock can grow just because of the size of the company moving forward. On top of that, like I mentioned, there are certain clients, even within the top 20 clients, that realty income leases out to. Things like Dollar General, Walgreens, even some other names within here that are a little bit shaky. Although because realty income does have so many clients within their basket, I'm not worried whatsoever. And besides, realty income is still basically holding strong at almost a 99% occupancy rate, which I can definitely live with. But now that we went through the earnings, talked about realty income, I want to hear from you guys down below. Are you currently holding any shares of realty income as of right now? And if so, how many shares do you have across all your portfolios combined? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.